Don't you just love it when someone gives you a really cool, thoughtful, creative gift? I do too. Stick around to find out what that gift is coming up next. Hey Star Wars fans, welcome back to another video from All Things Star Wars Considered. I'm your host Doug, and today I have to show off an anniversary gift from my wife. Last Sunday we celebrated 28 years together, and yeah, it's crazy to think that some geek like me, some Star Wars geek, some Star Wars nerd as we're called from time to time, actually found a woman that was willing to put up with me in this crazy hobby. But yeah, we just celebrated 28 years, and my wife has been supportive of me and this crazy hobby for all that time. And to show how much she actually cares for me, she made me this. Now, we'll get into it a little bit further, but let's kind of just give it a quick zoom. It's a bouquet of handmade flowers with a bunch of Star Wars figures in it. And she presented that to me last Sunday. I was just blown away. So when we return, I'm going to kind of take a real in-depth look to see what is in that bouquet and what kind of condition it's in. So stick around. That's coming up next. Okay, let's get into this bouquet. I'm doing air quotes behind camera. Okay, so the first figure out of the gate here is Princess Leia's ceremonial gown, in which she presents Han and Luke the Medal of Honor after the Battle of Yavin. So this looks to be a pretty decent figure. It's in good shape. Obviously, this was late 90s, I want to say. This could have been like freeze frame or flashback. I know it was one of those post Power of the Force 2 figures. So obviously Power of the Force 2 started in like 96 and ran for a few years, and then they started changing over to freeze frame and Comtech and flashback and all kinds of things. So this is around the time when Power of the Force 2 switched over to whatever. So that's a great figure. Comes with the medal, and I love it. Moving right along, we're going to come over to here. We have the Han Solo figure. I'm not quite sure which Han figure this is. This is sometime around the same time when this figure came out. Maybe Power of the Force 2. It could have been Comtech. I think Comtech kind of comes into my mind when I'm thinking about this figure. Next, we have Qui-Gon Jinn from the Phantom Menace, and obviously Phantom Menace came out around 99, so this figure is sometime around 99 2000. Looks decent. You know, of course, the Phantom Menace, they were just finding their way, still Hasbro. So you know, we have gotten quite a upgrade with this particular figure. If we move right along, we have the Hoth Rebel Commander. And a lot of fans speculate that this figure was created after John Ratzenberger from the television show Cheers. He played Cliff Clavin, the mailman Cliff Clavin. Yes. I relate to Cliff Clavin in a lot of ways, although he's quite annoying on the show, but obviously that's the character he was portraying. But because of that mustache and because he's you know, a Hoth figure, it certainly looks like John Ratzenberger. So we're going to go with that. The next figure is Weequay from the Return of the Jedi series. And that figure came out sometime around 83, I believe. And the nice thing about a lot of these Return of the Jedi figures is they really, when you see them on the secondary market, they're in good shape. So I don't know if it's just the fact that a lot of people are grabbing these figures and not playing with them, or just putting them in displays. But a lot of Return of the Jedi figures are really in decent shape, and this is one of those. We move on. We have 4LOM, the bounty hunter. And isn't that funny? Because I just talked about him a couple of weeks ago when I was doing my bounty hunter 2-packs. And the cool thing about this 4LOM is, just like my original, I didn't pay for him. Seems to me that I end up acquiring a lot of 4LOM figures for next to nothing, if not nothing. So this 4LOM is going to need a little bit of a bath. He doesn't have the armor piece, doesn't have the cape. But the nice thing is, Toy Polloi just did a video in which he reproduced the 4LOM cape. So might just have to check that video out. I already checked it out once, but maybe this time I'll watch it and take notes and figure out how I can create a cape for 4LOM. Moving right along, we get over to the Imperial Stormtrooper Hoth Battle Gear. This figure's a little yellow, but nothing that dropping him into some peroxide and leaving him out in the sun. Perfect time of year for that, because obviously we're in summer. So you can drop him in some peroxide and leave him soaking for a couple of days, and a lot of that yellow will dissipate, and you'll see a lot of the white return to this figure. I got some vinyl. I can actually create a skirt for him, and getting repro weapons is not a hard thing nowadays. So I can actually turn this figure into a nice army builder to go along with my, I was going to say, what is it, turret? Probot playset? No, Imperial Attack Base. That's where all my snow troopers are. So we can add him to the Imperial Attack Base. The next figure is Farm Boy Luke, and I got to be honest, I was blown away. This Farm Boy Luke is in such good condition. I'm going to give him a light cleaning, and let's see if I can bring in, my buddy George was putting together his original 96, and he ended up with a bunch of spare repro accessories. So he gave me that lightsaber, and I'm going to add that to this figure, and after a cleaning, he's going to be complete. I'll be able to put him in a vintage display, take my my original Farm Boy Luke, I can put him away, put him back into his collector's case, and keep him from getting faded, keep him from getting dusty, keep him from getting broken. So that's what I like to do. I do that with the retro figures, and why not do that with this particular Farm Boy Luke? Over here we have a Death Star droid, and he looks to be in pretty decent condition. He'll be great for a nice Tatooine display with the Jawas and a bunch of droids. So looking forward to doing that with him. If we move over here, we have a Power of the Force 2 Weequay, and that's cool because we already have a Kenner Weequay figure. So now we have two Weequay Skiff Guard figures, Power of the Force 2 and Kenner. Over here, I thought this was a Stormtrooper figure, but let's see. I see all that black on the armor, and that made me realize that, no, this is a trash compactor Luke in Stormtrooper disguise. So that's cool. So now you can use this figure one of two ways. You're creating a trash compactor diorama scene, you can use this. If you want to put him in a display where you need a bunch of Stormtroopers, now he's a Stormtrooper. Move over here, we have an orange Luke, another army builder. And I gotta be honest, he looks in pretty decent shape. I was looking at the hands, they might need a little touch-up on the helmet, a little bit of a bath, give him a blaster, and that'll be great in any type of scene where you have a bunch of rebels getting ready to take on the Death Star. And even though it's Luke X-Wing, it's a very generic looking figure, so he can double as Wedge or any of the other rebels. Speaking of characters to army build and that can double, we have an Imperial Commander, and obviously we can make this be General Veers, we could make this Admiral Ozzel, we could make this Captain Nita. We can turn this figure into a variety of different Imperials, and again, they're so generic, they work in displays even if you have multiples. And finally, as we start to terminate things, we have the Sand Person, the Tusken Raider, and he's a little worse for wear, but I have a bunch of vinyl. I can create a cape for him. I can touch up his hands because they're a little scuffed up, and his bandoliers. I have some silver. I can touch up the eyes, the tusks, and the horns. And that's pretty much all you need to do with this figure. Like I said, I got the vinyl, and he'll be great. Another army builder. So let's do a quick count. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So we have 14 figures in this bouquet. So very, very thoughtful, creative gift by my wife, and I couldn't be happier. So I'm glad I got to share it with you guys, and we'll see you on the next one. Well, I hope you enjoyed taking a look at the Star Wars bouquet. And before somebody puts a comment, or I'm sure somebody's going to leave a comment, no, there was no Rose figures in the in that bundle. Obviously, we went through it. You can see there was no Rose figures in there, because I know there was a lot of jokes made back when The Last Jedi came out, and there was Rose figures littering the pegs at Walmart and Target, and people were coming up with creative ways to dispose of Rose. So they were buying them by the dozen and putting them in little makeshift bouquets. But thank God my wife didn't do that. I have one Rose figure, and that is enough. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Before we wrap things up, I did want to pass along some unfortunate, some very sad news. I have mentioned on this channel from time to time the Budget Jedi. And sadly, I had to hear this week that the Budget Jedi passed away. He was only 46 years old. He left behind a wife and 2 kids. The obituary somebody shared with me, and it was just heartwarming to see what the kind things that man did, the kind words that people spoke about him. So it was tough for me to hear. And in honor of him, I actually just watched a bunch of his videos just so I could be reminded of just what a good person that man was. And he's actually from my neck of the woods. He was in the Northeast. So I honestly feel like a part of me went with him, because that's a tough loss. And I just want to send a shout out to his family. If you watch this, if you happen to see it, just please know that my condolences to all of you. You lost a good man, and I'm very sorry for your loss. So having said that, we're going to wrap things up now. Before we do so, just like to thank everybody for supporting my humble little channel. If you haven't done so, I ask you to please hit the subscribe button so I can continue to bring you that valuable Star Wars content we've all come to know and love. If you enjoyed this video, you know what to do. Give it a like. That helps the channel as well. If you have a question, a comment, some input, you want to weigh in on this bouquet of Star Wars flowers, please leave it in the comment section, and I'll get back to each and every one of you. Want to remind everybody to have a great day. Thank everybody for watching, and we will see you on the next video. And as always, may the Force be with you.